Hi, Tim Bigham for Delta Derivatives, Option Hedges and Edges, and Traders Exclusive. And back this week for a market that, believe it or not, is about 1% off the all-time highs, given Greece, given China, giving all the machinations over the past couple weeks in the market. We are poised maybe to break out to the upside here. Earnings season starting out and okay here. Certainly JP Morgan's numbers yesterday I think will kind of be the poster child for earnings going forward. They beat on the top line, earnings with a beat, revenues with a miss. So kind of manufacturing those earnings again. They pulled forward some loan loss reserves. We did see big call volume over at RB Trader scanners on JP Morgan in front of that report. So those traders were rewarded as well. And speaking of big volume, Twitter yesterday was absolute insanity as a rumored buyout proved to be false. Even the website that was created proved to be false. But in front of that rumor being put out there, we did see big call buying repeatedly on the name. So it would be interesting to see what ultimately comes to task on Twitter. Stock ran up, ripped higher, pulled back when it was found out to be a hoax. So always, as we keep harping on here, you know, position size and slow and steady, I think, wins the race. Make sure it's better to shoot later, ask questions first. This market with high frequency trading certainly seems to be, you know, shoot first, ask questions later. So speaking of shooting, we've seen some big call volume on a name that hardly ever trades options on Brookline Senior Living. BKD is the symbol. We've seen just relentless buying of the August 35 calls, about 15,000 now open interest. A little over a week ago, that open interest was less than 100. So the implied volatility has moved from a mid-20 level to almost 40 here. So I have a couple trades that we put on using those RB Trader scanners. I bought the stock and simply sold the calls, did a simple buy right, leaned bullishly with the paper, looked to capture that implied volatility. And with the delta on these options approaching 50, you know, we're really looking at a similarly risk position here. So another trade that came up was buying the October 35 calls, selling these August 35 calls. That term structure volatility, according to our analyst Lisa Labia over at RB, you know, has really widened significantly. Normally it was about a 2-point differential. In other words, August we're trading about 2 points higher than October's, but because of that big buyer of the August 35 calls, that term structure volatility actually widened to about 6.5 points. That spread, even with the stock moving towards 35, normally expect that spread to widen just a little bit, actually narrowed from 60 to 47. We have about a 35% edge on the trade according to Lisa. So we put that trade on along with the buy right, looking to capture again that implied volatility differential, lean bullishly with that order flow, that call buying flow. So we're really being more opportunistic as we talked about using those RB Trader scanners rather than tactical here. I still like out of the money call spreads, although with the market now approaching all-time highs, I think, you know, a little caution has to be warranted here, and with volatility lower. So, you know, with the VIX down around the 13 level, all of a sudden option buying starts to come into the forefront. With that VIX, which was trading over 20 a week ago, option selling certainly made a lot more sense. So until next week, this is Tim Bigham, and as always, keep those position sizes in place and those stops going. Take care.